Well, we can connect with our people. This is the Foka FM Foka TV, and this is the program. Good Even Liberia on 89.5 this morning. This evening. So lots of people are following us here, and we want to say good evening. It's such a pleasure to be here. Let's see as to what our producer can bring our guests in because we come meetings with our broadcast relative to what has been unfolding here. So let's go. Let's continue to share the live video. 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 Let's continue to share the live video in our various platform. Too many things to talk about. So if Mr. Benzi is out there, he can just come in. If Mr. Benzi is out there, he can just come in so that we can continue the program. Mr. Benzi, if you are out there, come in. Let our producer bring you in. So many things to talk about in our country. I see the growing momentum out there. See the growing momentum. Keep sharing the live video. Keep sharing the live video. Uh, Keep sharing the live video. Those of you who are watching this evening, keep sharing the live video. This is the Foka FM, Foka TV. You can get us on Facebook and YouTube. We will definitely be currently there. Share the live video, share the live video, various staff room. So a full opportunity to participate on the program, to observe what we will definitely be talking about. Every other thing we do, we try to promote the country. We put our country first. So our country is is what we are mostly particular about. So, Mr. Wednesday, so let's try to put Mr. Wednesday on camera. The man called Mr. Steven M. Wednesday has just walked into our studio. Let's try to put him on the camera. Okay, so there's a little adjustment that needs to be made from my end. So let's go back for the music. Let's take a musical break. There's a little adjustment that need to be made from my end, and our technician is coming to have that resolved. Our technician is coming to have that. So okay, so too many things to talk about in our country. Like the man by the name Stephen Clay has just walked into the studio. A member of the ruling Unity Party, and he played a pivotal role at the level of the district, trying to amass a lot of the people. He was mostly involved into the campaign process in favor of the Unity Party, trying to convince tons of people to vote for current president now, Joseph Yamabwaka, and since then, it has been a very long time since we played host to him, and he has come back again. And this time, probably he has some important issues to share with us. It could be about the sources of the government. It could be about some other proceeding of the government that he surely disagree with. But we're definitely asking Mr. Prince, welcome to Fuka Life and Fuka TV.
Okay, thank you very much for the invite. Let me say a big thank you to the Focal family for giving this invitation to be here today on another journey.
How is life?
Well, we are around saying to be doing other private businesses and we're around doing normally because I don't think government can employ everyone in government or everyone can work with the government. So or we stay in the private sector, do other things to make things to happen.
All right. So life is actually moving on. Is life is actually moving on.
Yeah, life is moving on. That's what's going on.
How is the Unity Party? Are you still supporter of the Unity Party?
Oh, well, yeah, I still support the Unity Party. 100% support the Unity Party because I believe in the ideology of the Unity Party. I trust Joseph Walker, President Joseph Walker. I know this is my president. I know I've been fighting for him, convincing people with the town election. I think it's far in the interior to convince people to vote Joseph Walker because I know what we're going to bring on the table. I think you can see something, other changes that can make it around in terms of good governance, ordinance, transparency, other good voting that we all are wishing to see. I think you can see some success that the government try to bring up.
Some sources. If you talk about sources, what are some of those things you can point to in terms that Liberians can be convinced that this is the strides the government is actually making in terms of bettering the life of the ordinary people? Because many of times during the 2023 electionary process, you people talk about you guys are no longer going to be doing business as usual, and so many other things to talk about. What are some of those things you can point to as a partisan, as a Liberian citizen, that this government has embarked upon that is in the positive direction for the people?
Well, you can see, around. We don't need to tell you because I think you see the progress that the government making so far in terms of transparency, accountability, in terms of implementing the GSC report, the NCC report, to see how best the law can be effective. See the ordinance, see how best we can do other good things that can improve the country. I think you can see how things moving in terms of effecting our security personnel. I think you can feel the presence of the security all around. You can see like a movie where you can see these people, they are well attired, do their work, even if it's not that work. Today, I passed red light, I saw the entire red light in front of the recent apart Douala, even running to Douala because the way I see the street was people. Normally, I would use to have motorbike to go if I'm going around a few inches. I had to get a motorbike to go. But now, take it all I can see. Everybody moving freely. There's no longer someone to do the stuff on the phone. So these are things I think these are all order that they try to restore.
Yeah, as part of the main reasons why Liberians voted for President Joseph Waka was this popular commitment he made about tackling the old age issues of Liberia that has to do with road connectivity, road network. And since then, he talked about local this stuff. And that's why he said it, he made a commitment, and the Ministry of Public Works has been doing that. Oh, there are still complaints about bad road condition. Do you believe that the president has actually lived up to that?
Oh yeah, personally up to that, when the issue of complaint, people always complain
But we are
because
still seeing some. We are still seeing some
yeah,
challenges that
yeah,
has to do with bad road
they will be challenged.
conditions.
Everything can be done as one. As a gradual process, I will move forward, see how best we can see, to do other things.
Isn't that slipping from the commitment you made in the campaign
No,
time?
not really that is slipping because we have a lot of roads. My brother need up to 13,000 kilometers of road to connect entire Liberia. Yeah, and you can see for now the entire southeastern part of Liberia, even a representative came in recent time, he had a press conference, or to be precise, Emmanuel Pena.
But he was speaking. He was
Yeah,
speaking in
yeah,
light.
yeah. He was speaking as a senator of Grand Judea County, also from the southeast. He even confessed that he he what he expected the previous government to have done is 6 years. The government that in power in less than 6 months they have done it. In terms of road connectivity moving from Neymar to that of Grand Judea, it taking less than 3 hours to now get to Grand Judea County. So that was commendable. Highly commendable to the government of Liberia.
Senator, if you actually listen to Senator Zoe Manuel Penning of Rangida County, he spoke in he spoke out some of the development that was actually going on within his region. He wasn't speaking for the southeastern part of Nigeria, and there are reports where that people are still stranded in local county in the same southeastern region. What do you have to say? How can you reconcile that with how can you tell Nigerians that the president has lived up to the commitment about connecting or working to ensure that the world becomes viable?
Well, as I told you earlier, not everything will not be done as one. So as a gradual process, people always complain in terms of work issue in Liberia from 1847 up to current. I think the government have committed himself in terms of connecting or from farm to market or from market to farm, connecting town and villages. So that commitment, is a commitment that the government have made to the Liberian people. And as I told you, it will not be done in one day time. That's a gradual process.
But
So
the president had pushed a target. He said after 100 days, there will be the rules in Liberia will definitely be complied with, and people are still stranded. People are still experiencing the same old problems.
yeah, people will experience some problem, but not that before as it was happening because we in the rainy season. So we in the rainy season and the big cars are traveling on the road. Whenever the people create a go out, you see a big truck will go. Whenever the truck pass, you notice that they will make mark and the area will start to water will start to stay there. So at the end result, you notice that the mud will start to stay. But all that the government says see how best it can maintain the road rehabilitation, the issue of what rehabilitation process in the southeast, not only the southeast, the other part of Liberia.
So can we clearly say that the president didn't live up to the commitment, but he's making some progress.
That he laid off not 100% living up to the commitment, but he made tremendous progress in terms of road connecting roads within 100 days. The issue of 100 days delivery already, people thinking that within 100 days the country will be developed. Not the issue. The issue that had to do with 100 days had to do with policy administration, see how best you be able to make policy that levy the platform to see how bad the government will be wrong. That's the issue of 100 days. But other people feel that even like broad problem, that 100-day problem, even states here, within states here, like broad can be developed because the issue of like broad development is a national agenda. We all need to work in here to see how bad we can move the country forward in terms of developing Liberia. Liberia cannot be developed within states here. But the government can do some in terms of developing, improving the system. But now, look at the current condition of Liberia, where I've been in Liberia, traveling from one village to another to connect all the places. That can be done in 1 year, or probably can be made in terms of reducing the problem of Liberia. But that you can't tell me that Liberia can be developed within 6 years as compared to other countries now on the map in terms of development or in terms of good road connectivities in Africa.
All right. During the 2023 campaign process, You and I know President Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party, when they were in opposition, they spoke against, they criticized the CDC-led government, or the fact that CDC-led government was not living up to the rule of law. Now, President Joseph Boakai is now seated in the driving seat where he has a very huge responsibility that he has to cater to with the issues about promoting the rule of law. Do you think that the rule of law is fully upheld according to the in line with the standard from the Liberian people? The rule of law.
Of course, President Boakai is living up to the task of up to the promise of protecting Liberia, ruled by the rule of law, because in recent time, there have been a lot of, I mean, just in laws, there have been a lot of laws around the place that people have been falsely accused.
People have been falsely accused.
People have been falsely accused of what other people are saying. But I just tell you to be a side word discussion, because whatever indictment that have been done in this country, they are passed through the jury process. That the grand jury of most of our country have been able to indict people.
Do you see now? Do you see the fact that the government, why people have tenure positions on people had on a fire tenure position when the president appointed people to replace them? Do you see that as a flagrant violations of the tenure laws of Nigeria?
Not really, it was not in violation, because even people sending tenure position before President Boakai was elected as president of Liberia, they themselves violated the tenure law of Liberia, because we look at the tenure law of Liberia, saying if you serve your tenure position.
So isn't that the president was right to violate it owing to the fact that other people have violated the law?
No, but actually he was not in violation with the tenure law of Liberia.
But the Supreme Court interpreted the law and said that the president was in violation of the law.
The president was not in violation. The president was acting upon the law. The people violated, and he started to act upon the violation of that they did, because people were heavily involved with campaign process. People serving tenure position. All right, if you said serve your tenure position, you shouldn't have taken active part in any election process. But we saw people serving in tenure position were wearing party t-shirt, organizing rally, going from one place to another, even violating the code of conduct.
Well,
using government cars to fly from one place to another.
How do you term the Supreme Court ruling relative to the tenure case? How do you term the Supreme Court ruling? It didn't favor the government. Isn't that the government proceeded wrongly in terms of tackling other people who they went for?
No, it was not an issue of targeting people. Mm-hmm. It was not an issue of targeting. That had to do with the opinion of the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. It was the Supreme Court opinion, right? But hey, look, let me refer to the Constitution of the Bureau. It go to Article 89 of the Constitution provide also that the state government created a position, right? They created a position when you go to Article 56, they talk about the way and pleasures of the president. So you look at the issue of way and pleasure, if the president not satisfied with anyone to work along with them, the president can get rid of the president.
But that has been the government's position relative to the tenure case. But when they went at the level of the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court dispelled what the government people have initially believed. So the president was actually wrong on the president. Wasn't that the president was wrong on that?
Not really, as I told you, the president was not wrong. The president was acting upon the law. What they did in the past, they said they were the first as violated, right? Because they violated the tenure law of Liberia. As I told you, the tenure law says that if you are in your tenure position, you don't need to actively take part in any politics. But we saw tenure people organizing political rallies, going from one place to another. So at the end result, we observed that at the end of the day, we saw a lot of things that went on. So you can't maintain your people within your government as serving as opposition, because if you don't feel satisfied with the people, because you don't feel satisfied with them, in terms of what implementing mandate, you will not be able to work in line with you as I expect them to work in line will be against you. So I don't think it'll be okay, because they got to work away and pleasures. So if the man not willing to take instruction from you, I don't think you need to keep that man within your entity or within your government. If You can't be serving the government, you be opposition to the government, you opposing the rule, or no, you opposing the view of the government. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
So
Okay. What do you make of the Yellow Machine saga? What do you make of the Yellow Machine saga?
yeah, the issue of yellow machine like we already. I bet you be yellow machine every time yellow machine ready. You know when you look at like the real problem, ready. You look at yellow machine issue. People in the house for legislature sit there. Anytime any agreement coming to develop the country, someone will be requesting that yeah, they should give them money. They should give them money. So at the end of the day, what you should benefit, you will not benefit. In the early regime, they passed 68 concession agreement. Out of 68, only two were able to meet international standard. All these things that happen here, but right, even we have golden pavilion, we have sent the palm plantation in Grand Cape Bon County there, from Bomi to Grand Cape Bon. We have a golden pavilion in Sano. But right, we should be processing some things in Liberia, but the legislature will say there.
Do you support the Yellow Machine issue?
I support the yellow machine issue. Even I will tell you, if I have opportunity to even serve, if I have opportunity to even be in the government, very, I will advise the president because the legislature have been, they have actually been, they have not been working in line with the government or like for past time, really. So for that reason, I don't think many agreements will not even carry them because there are people not in the interest of the country, they're only seeking their own interest.
But there are laws that give a clear descriptions on how government supposed to acquire or properties in terms of for development, the PPCC law, the issues about the legislative involvement. How do you look at that? Is it that the president was moving in the right trajectory, other than following the laws that he should have followed? What do you make of those things?
Where after bringing the machine in, government will be able to make report to the legislature. It's the same thing.
No, but there are laws.
Not anything there. But in fact, the machine was not purchased. It was on an agreement, on a gentleman agreement. Somebody decided to offer machine to the president that they will use the machine in the later day to be able to pay for the machine. So it was not anything that government told money to put a machine though.
So it means that
it was on a gentleman agreement that government let me get you machine, my friend. Let me get you machine, say all this for you, not get go there, go fix it, go there. Anytime you ready, can pay number. The government like bro can pay number. So not anything major to say they gotta go through PDCC, MCC, all the kind of CCC.
But those are laws. It's like why backing the government over the fact that they have to downplay the issues about the rule of law. Considering the fact that Joe Walker said he's going to do something totally different by strengthening the rule of law.
I think you can see the difference. You can see the difference in that ongoing. You can see that
what's the difference?
That will not happen before in terms of positive direction is still things for it. So the issue of Waka is just a different man. Really. We look at Waka, really, Waka is quite
a different man that is violating the law.
No, that violation. Waka is working according to the law of Liberia. You know, the law of Liberia, many law in Liberia basically are hindering to the country progress because you have some entity that do similar function. You look at the PBCC, you look at LACC, look at GAC. The two entities have similar function in terms of audit. So you just need to combine the two entities to work together. You got GAC, you have LACC, then you have how you call this RAA, internal audit. They all serve audit purpose. So you just need to combine them, they can work together. That's what you need to do. The issue of yellow machine, President Blanca never told money to buy yellow machine. Somebody agreed to give him an offer. He said, yeah, my man, Mr. President, sell your country, you don't got to go.
Is there a law? Is there a law that backs the president's action that the president can gentlemanly engage somebody to promote the issues of road development in our country? Is that a law?
Wow, in terms of promoting road development?
Yeah, road development, because you are not backing the president.
Not that I'm not backing the president, really. I'm not backing the president. Nobody president.
But you initially said that you support the yellow machine.
100% support. Even want to take it for 285 pieces of up to 400 pieces of machine here. 100%
So
support
you support
the
the
decision.
process.
They
You
support for
support
us.
the
I
process.
said supporting the process.
Even when there is no law in the country, when the laws have been frequently violated,
What,
you support the
what
process.
violation? You face your country is a violation?
No, that is not it. But the process is needed to go through the rightful process,
What?
the PPCC process,
The
the legislative
time you
involvement.
go there and you pay cash. You don't pay any cash. Tell about it. Somebody decide to give it to his man. Go the TV use it. Anytime you already get paid, they will ready, the government ready to pay the money, they will go through the process. And the executive got right to negotiate for anything. The executive can negotiate when they bring anything that they get. After they bring it to the country, they can sell it out to what? The legislature for ratification. They got law that backing it. They got the law that backing it. You can negotiate. Executive can negotiate as well.
All right, considering the fact that people have raised red flags relative to the yellow machine saga, what do you think as a Nigerian and as a member of the ruling party? What do you think is can be demonstrated to ensure that Wakai can have a level playing field in this particular yellow machine, taking into consideration the importance of the yellow machine market?
Well, if I came or President Waka came or and told the people, yes, sorry, my friend gave me the yellow machine in my country.
Did he say sorry?
On a gentleman agreement.
Did he say sorry?
Yeah, he told us sorry.
No, I have the copy of the letter, the copy of the letter that the president addressed to the national legislature. He didn't say sorry. He didn't say sorry. He said that the machine key derived from a conversation. You understand? So how do you reconcile that?
That was very, as I told you, it was on the agreement. That somebody told you that, yeah, I will give you the machine, you use it. After you use the machine, anytime you get paid the money, you don't be paying for the money. So the issue of the machine shouldn't be anything to say it will hinder abroad progress, though. Abroad, to even be appreciating for someone different thinking for developing a country. So I expect abroad to be thinking that direction to say, yeah, if our President Bwaka is an influential leader, someone thinking about giving 285 pieces of yellow machine on a gentleman agreement. So Labrador should applaud President Bwaka for such an initiative, for such a gesture.
Oh, Liberians, because the machine is actually meant for road construction.
For road connectivity.
For road
Each
construction.
county will receive.
The machine is actually meant for road construction.
Yeah, road.
And because the machine is meant for road construction, the law should be violated.
No law was violated. We are not paid money for the machine.
Did he follow the PPCC channel?
They will pay money, will follow the channel. When they pay the money, they will carry them for the PPCC. It was just done on a gentleman agreement. So it was not something major to say, yeah, they are taking money and carry to a millionaire East Africa or whatsoever to buy machine that no, it was not done on that basis.
Are you fully cognizant of what the PPCC say and the importance of the PPCC?
Yeah, the PPCC law are important here on the book already.
Do you believe that?
Do
you believe that the PPCC laws are there to strengthen, to regulate the way government is supposed to proceed, especially in terms of purchasing equipment that are meant for the country?
Yeah, they are there, but they are not purchasing any equipment for the country. In terms of purchasing a yellow machine, they are not paying any money.
Will there be money paid?
No money are being paid.
Will there be money paid?
Money will be paid. Before the right to pay the money, it will go to
who
them.
will be paying the money?
The government abroad, before the right to pay for the machine, in subsequent period, they will get the money to PP. And the process will go to PPCC to see how bad PPCC can straighten it up. But for now, the government are not yet pay any money to PPCC or are not yet pay money to anyone. So for some reason, I don't think that should be anything to say the government have violated law, government have done so. And what I say here in a nutshell, Labrador should even be happy. In a simple term, Labrador should be happy that someone from different country will say, yes, indeed, I gave you your yellow machine, sign your road and score. Get your machine from here, Grand Cable County. Someone tell you to pay up to 1,500. What did they say from a Grand Cable? From here, from Red Light Ganta is 1,500. Someone telling you from Douala to that of Water, you can pay up to 1,002. Look, a calculated distance from Red Light to Ganta is about 100, so more, about 160 kilometers, almost equivalent. Look at the distance from Red Light to Ganta and the distance from Douala to that of Water. So compare the two distance. Ganta is far younger than what? Water. See the distance from here. Even from Red Light from Douala to that of a rubber sport. People telling to pay 1,200
All right,
now
that's
in the taxi cab.
mm,
And look at the distance from red light to that of Banga. People tend to pay 1,000. It takes a distance calculation. You noted that Banga will double a sport almost two different times. And the cost of going a sport is more harder than what the cost of going in Banga
uh,
because of our bad road condition.
let's
Bad
talk.
road condition.
Let's talk about the issues about accountability. What do you make of the president's as part of the many reasons why President Joseph Walker was elected as president of the country from the 2023 presidential election was his commitment to crack down on the issues of corruptions in the country. What do you make of the latest indictment of several former government officials? Although there have been a lot of arguments across the thing that arresting people on the basis of an audit report is not just sufficient. The legislature has a role to play. What do you make? What do you make of the government's action?
Why the government did arrest anyone illegally? In fact, the President Walker or the government of the acting upon the audit report.
Are you aware of the process?
Yeah, I can follow the process.
Mhm.
The NECC report.
What has been
In
the
fact,
what has been the decision of the national
the
legislature?
7-man committee
Mhm.
that was set up to carry on the audit.
Mhm.
Who appointed the people? The 7-man committee that carried on the audit. The NECC audit. Who carried on the GAC?
I'm talking about the legislative involvement.
Gaswa. Who appointed Gaswa? He said who are wasteful people. Who appointed Gaswa? Gaswa were appointed by former President George Manuel
Do
Weah.
you believe that there are some mistakes, although the government wants to crack down on corruptions?
Not really, there have been a lot of mistakes because if it was done professionally, you say, yeah, the man corrupt, then we go for the man. The government like decide to go, go after him.
But do you believe? Do you believe
For
that
me,
an audit report that has been conducted by the General Auditing Commission is sufficient? Is so much sufficient that the government can rely on to prosecute or corrupt officials
of course, because
without the legislative involvement?
the person went to court. The grand jury of Maserado, the evidence that was presented because indictment is a process, right? They were accused. After they were indicted, the evidence was sent to court. The evidence from the evidence that was sent to court, that based on the evidence that the court decided to invite them, they were not just, the court not just say, yeah, let's just go for the man and put the man to jail. No, the process was done legally. They were invited. When they presented the evidence presented to the court, based on the evidence, the indictment was done because it's the process. Indicting a man for appearing to court, it doesn't mean that you are found guilty. No, you are not found guilty of the crime for which you can exonerate yourself. Just go and clear your name.
But some members of the national legislature have disagreed with the process. They believe that the audit report is not. It does seem necessarily mean that it cannot be a reliable stand for the government to pursue people who are perceived to be corrupt.
Yeah, but those people that say such a thing, they are opposition, and many of them even need to be audited. So those people that say such a thing, I don't think we even need to follow them because those people, we have many people in that group that even I tell President Walker the House of Legislation need to be audited for the 5 years for everything.
As much as you disagree with the government, you really should go and audit you.
Wow. No, I don't disagree with the government. I will not disagree with the government because the government working in the right
anyone who
path.
professes a different opinion other than what the government is saying, they should be audited. Is that what you're saying?
No, not really. I myself, I recommended the government of Liberia, President Walker, to conduct an audit of the national legislature. To audit the national legislature called the period of 2005. Even they can start from 2011 up to 2017. They should audit them up to 2023. They should audit them.
All right. Speaking about auditing, do you have what is your stand? Because some Nigerians are saying if Joseph Walker is very impassioned about his president, Joseph Walker is very impassioned about these issues about corruption. He should start from 2005 and try to audit the stewardship of Ellen Johnson before moving over to former President George Weah. What do you make of that?
Well, that's a process for now. what we have on the stand for now is what we're going to start on. What we're going to start on in terms of audit because President President Weah, former President Weah is now quite a wolf cry. Mm? Every time I pass around, you hear people say wish from. President Weah, the then president at the time, he had the opportunity to audit the past regime. Mm? No one would do former President Weah work for him. What he had, he signed a commitment to the former president, Ellen Johnson, said that in fact he will protect uh, he will protect former President Ellen Johnson said in fact he went by far to create the power leadership up to 80%, right? So if Bwaga come to power, Bwaga say that you're not satisfied with the government, so you need to conduct an audit. And he start to audit that. Why you coming out to say the witch hunting him? Nobody witch hunting anybody. Only a witchcraft will feed witch hunter. And I feel that you not witchcraft. I don't think you be thinking about somebody hunting you. Nobody witch hunting anybody.
Are you intimidated by the former president's speech of recent?
No, I'm not intimidated.
When he said that he is going to legally and politically resist your
So
government.
I'm not intimidated. I will never be intimidated by President Weah. If I just tell her to be an empty speech that he gave me.
How do you view his speech?
It had no relevance.
It had no relevance.
No relevance. No relevant speech had. In fact, he wanted the president who supporting corruption in this country because there were a lot of corrupt activity that went on during your regime, and you failed to prosecute those people up to current. People went to other places and made statement that in fact they stealing the country money and what building houses in the country. That corruption, it will steal the money.
He spoke about downside people from their job as in his speech.
No, but let me tell you something. We have what we call the civil service outstanding order. First of all, before you become a civil servant, there are processes you need to pass through, right? If first of all you can go for civil service test, you say the test and pass the test, the gain certificate. Before you be employed, you will get number employment letter. People illegally took employment when President Weah was voted up on November 14. President Weah was voted out. Within that process, within that period of time, President Weah decided to what? Illegally employ people to various government ministry and agency, even the foreign people or the foreign student, the foreign service people.
Did you say illegally?
Illegally. It was not legal. By the state, it was not legal to if you have been voted out as former president, you had no right to employ anybody or assign to send anybody on assignment. You have some limited power.
Do you see a speech as a threat to our peace and stability?
Well, really, his speech will not welcome me, but I don't feel intimidated or maybe fear his speech because as far as concerned, nothing he can do. I just tell us to be an MPSP or mere joke that you are making. There's not anything that you take even serious. It will take anything serious. Former president, we are speech will be taken serious to say, yeah, he will illegally or hold people in the street.
You as a Liberian, what do you make of the ongoing situations that has consistently involved the former president being consistently denied or allegedly denied of the VIP terminal? You as a Liberian.
So they have law, they have different laws that govern the airport. They have current president that need to use certain part of the airport and they have place there for what? Other officials of government. These are things that people, people don't understand some things at times they just come to the public to just say something that they don't understand. So they play that the current president should use, the former president allowed to use that area. So based on that fact, whenever they come in, President We or former President We are coming to that area, they tell you, no, you are not allowed to use this area. Use the other VIP law to enter or to go out.
Do you support the government stance?
In terms of what?
In terms of the way former President George Weah, a VIP, a very important personality in this country, has been consistently denied.
No one has been denied George Weah or no one denied him. It's just a way of doing the right thing.
With government, government players provided confidence.
Wait. What happened is that in Liberia, we are used to doing the wrong thing as the right way of living. So at the end of the day, they have become a culture in Liberia. Whenever the wrong thing going on with feeder, The wrong way of doing things is a
So
good way of
who
life.
is actually doing the wrong thing?
The former president doing the wrong thing. And other people, other
What
parties,
do you classify as the wrong thing?
he not sort of use that place that he want to use. He not sort of use it because he no longer president. So he avoid he no longer president. He not having authority to pass to that particular area
Was
because
there
the
a
current president is
there
the
was
one to
there a
pass it.
notice? Was there a notice to that
He
effect?
knows. He knows. Even the protocol. Not President Waka, the one stopping him from passing there.
Mhm.
It's a protocol that I saw at the airport.
Mhm.
The one that was telling him no, you can't use a part. The airport, you can't use a part of the VIP. Go to the other side of the area, you pass it. And even use the other area. Even you don't use a VIP, you will still come outside. They use a VIP, you still come. So, people just like the issue here, people just like bro, instead of focusing on development to move like bro forward, people just taking every small thing, they just make it a politics. Politics can build country, right? We need to what? See how best all can come together as Liberian to see who can sit and discuss issues that can move this country forward.
Lastly,
But every small thing, politics, everything, politics, everything, politics, politics. Politics will not do anything good for us. What can advance us as Liberian? We need to since 1847, we've been playing politics like bro 177 years. A local like bro program marching to that age is not even commensurating the 107-year progress of Liberia. It not even march to it can't even march like bro any country in West Africa in terms of development.
all right, lastly, before we go to the phone line, as part of the many reasons why President Joseph Walker was voted was his commitment to the Liberian people that he was going to accelerate the process leading towards the establishment of the World Economic Council. Few days ago, President Joseph Walker appointed an executive director who is by law mandated to spearhead the execution of the establishment of the World Economic Council. Recently, the orator, Dr. Pellis, disagreed with President Joseph Waka over the way he conducted the appointment, the lack of the civil society involvement. How do you view the ongoing effort intended to establish the World and Economic Council to end these issues of a culture of impunity in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Really, the issue of establishing war and economic crime in Liberia is very, very important. They have been a whole issue since President Ellen Johnson said he came to power in 2005. Liberia will find that it need justice. It need justice. Even the civil sector, or society organization are very involved. We see crime that we want justice, they want war and economic crime. Ellie herself was part of the process of war in Liberia. Ellie couldn't indict herself. In terms of indictment, Ellie couldn't establish war and economic crime, right? So we know very well this is the reason for which President Weah at the time of voting on a popular mandate, in fact, you'll be able to tackle corruption, you'll be able to establish war and economic control. Not knowing that he never even had that such intention to establish war and economic control. So the issue of establishing war and economic control, I don't say it will be anything bad for Liberia because we need precedent in this country. It will not set precedent mean that we're not making any progress in terms of what development, rule of law. Because these are things you don't even have any good practice of rule of law in this country. They say, let justice be done to all men. But if you look at the current society today, there are certain people that will violate law, and nothing will come from other end. You will see other people ride on the tail lane, the full lane, the other men go there, they catch the man, they catch the man, they put the man somewhere.
All right, let's go to the phone line 077005746 is the number to call, and you will be live on the show. 077005746 is the number to call, and you will definitely be live on the show. We have a member of the uh, Unity Party, Stephen Benson. He is here. Hello, caller. Your name and where are you calling from? Dixville. Make a point. If you say retrogression, what are you talking about? In what? Mhm. So where do you stand on the issues about the yellow machine? All right, thank you for your concern. So the number to call is 0770 is the number to call, and you will definitely be live. We have a member of the ruling Unity Party, Mr. Stephen Benjamin. He is here to defend and provide his own analysis on many of the political issues taking place in our country, Liberia. So the number to call is 0770 is the number to call, and you will definitely be live on. Uh, so we are hoping to get some calls. We're hoping to get some calls. Okay, we have a caller again. Hello, caller. Your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, hello, caller. Your name and where are you calling from? The Gate and Bell. Yeah, make a point. All right, thank you for making your point. So the number to call, we still have time in our favor. We still have 2 minutes in our favor. The number to call is 0770 005746. Is the number to call, and you will definitely be live. When there is no call, then we will move strictly over to Mr. Wednesday to give his parting comment. Maybe some other day we will definitely invite him here. So we are still anticipating your call. So we are still anticipating your calls here. 0770 005746 is the number to call, and you will definitely be live on the program. So, Mr. Benson, we are pressed for time, so let's turn to you to give your parting comment.
Yeah, let me say respond to the caller, the previous caller, where he's saying that it's so laughable to say that I'm struggling to defend the government. It's so laughable to hear such a thing from him. But anyway, it's the truth that the government proceeded wrongly. As far as concerned, in other patriotic Liberian are concerned, the government is not proceeding wrongly. Get it? Many laws in Liberia are the past. Many laws here are the enemy to the country. The local Liberian law, many laws here. All the CC law they got here, Say 1847, 177 years old country. You look at the age, you look at the progress. The age more than the progress. What progress you are made here. So I even expect you to even tell the men that send the yellow machine to tell President Boaka, thank you for you know, for thank you for for bringing yellow machine to our country to carry on the right thing, to develop our roads. So it's so laughable.
All right, it's so laughable. That's the party coming from a member of the ruling unity party, Mr. Steven Benson. Okay, let me just squeeze in this follow very shortly, and then you can wrap up. Oh, hello, caller. Your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, Washington. Washington, just make your point in 1 minute, in 30 seconds, rather. All, all right, all right. Thank you for your point. Thank you for your point. So that's a Mr. Benson. You can just conclude.
Well, let me say a big thank you to you guys again for the invite to allow me to sit in your cruising studio. We are open anytime to respond to your invitation or attend to your invitation at any time. You want us to come here to discuss other progress and relations with the government. I think Sell Abroad was funded. The government seemed to be the best government ever. The president seemed to be the best president ever in the history of greatest prosperity, accountability, and credibility. He's the only president that don't have interest in any particular person. He's the only man so far. He didn't have any to say, yeah, this man, I favor the other man, I favor the other man. No. Other people may say wasteful, but I believe that he's not wasteful. Anybody, only a witchcraft can provide that a wasteful thing.
All right. So
Why
that,
can I say that President Walker wasteful thing? I know very well I'm witchcraft. I don't commit any crime, so I know I'm free. I can go anybody come and say and talk. Nobody waste one thing because I know I'm witchcraft. When a witchcraft will feel waste one thing. Thank you very much.
all right. That's the party coming from the man Steven Bensley, and he has been our guest on the program, Coach Even Liberia.
you realize that 45%, like for example, the National Bureau of Concession, 45% of
45%
the
of the
employees for
employees
the
for the
last
last
1
1 year.
year are not even going to work. You cannot be taking pay as an employee. You are under the import of national government. You are not working. So that shows a low level of productivity and inefficiency to the fooders. So therefore, it's important to have those kind of activities going so as to provide a means that institution can be able to grow and leave another level to another level. So I think it's important. And then there are a lot of things that come along with it. You want to look at credential orders as well. There are people who were placed in the name of partisanship. They were placed in a position that they don't have the credential. That what that does automatically, astronomically, it reduces the issue of landlord going to school, graduating, earning your degree, working, and then you having somebody who is not qualified placed in and being placed in a position.
So how is it that the civil service agency on the work of Josiah Joker, how is it going to reconcile that issue? Because just removing people on the basis of not having the credentials or credentials not corresponding, how is it that they are going to handle that particular issue?
If you follow the step, the standing order at the level of the CSA, there are classification and grade level that people to follow. As a director, you should be qualified to spearhead certain position. As an analyst, you should take in certain position and have certain qualification. So basically, there will be reform across the country. People will be placed in the rightful positions. Things will be drawn on to make sure that we have a better CSA, civil service across our country. So that is where they are at the moment. We hope it will well. It's nothing of a wish, but basically a step to make sure you have a reform and practical working environment.
You said that people are coping with the reformation process.
They definitely have to cope with it. No, it's a matter of must. It's a system. It's what the record called for. So it needs to be done across the country. And Josiah, more of that, you have the issue of the retirement. There are people, the law say, the CSA law in line with the Social Security laws speaks about someone reaching the age of 60 and being retired. Can I have someone who is 60 years old still occupying a full working position where there are laws and protection for that person when they retire, there are benefits that they're supposed to have. What that does is that it steer away the younger generation of people who's supposed to come and take over in terms of workforce. It still delays there. You still sitting in one little corner waiting for a 60-year-old director or analyst to relinquish that before you can take over. So they are not happily retiring them, giving them the scope about their benefits and allowing the younger people or someone who has said that ministry or one ministry or agency to come and take over to make sure that productivity is held to.
All right, let's jump over to other issues. There are a lot of issues to talk about here. A few days ago, we celebrated 177th Independence Day celebration, and even before then, there has been a some ideas even before the oration uh, was the Liberia as a country has never had a fair share of its royalties. What is your stand on issues? Because there have always been this debate that many times we sign, our lawmakers, our state people sign onto a contract, and Liberians don't have their equitable share of every agreement. What do you make of that?
That is a continental issue that should be discussed from a broader perspective. It's not only with Liberia, but both of
But
in the context
context of Liberia,
I will come to the context of Liberia. But the bulk of Africa, it is only now that few African countries are trying to draw away from that level of potency. We screening a true sense of humor, gaining that's that high level of pan Africanism that draws them to nationalistic and your behavior and so that comes down to Liberia, like it will interest you. It is true as part of what you heard was the damn thing truth that we needed to hear at that given time so that it can reawaken the minds of the young people of our country to make sure, even the government, to make sure that our conscience go beyond our work.
our conscience will be beyond our work. Where's your stand relative to the operations that was delivered on the 177 Independent Day celebrations in Liberia. Although there are Liberians who believe that every time an orator speaks, there must be a debate in the country, but this one has been very unprecedented. Many people tend to disagree with the oration, other people backing the oration. What do you stand in the middle of that particular
It was highly, unprecedented because it created a level of thought in the minds of the rousing generation.
Mhm.
It was from my who said every generation should have a mission.
Mhm.
It is left for that generation to fulfill that mission or neglect it. In time past, we had the mission of progressive class that were to provide multi-party democracy for our states.
Mhm.
Our generation, you and I, Lando, we need to define our scope of action, where we believe we move from here. If you see a progressive young lady that Raquel, who came more graciously on that day, standing in the face of the president, the legislature, the Liberian people, the international community, speaking truth to existing facts. And that was an eye opening for people like us who are in this generation to be able to hear, and everybody who attended that occasion or that part of the decision making process of our country to listen to and be able to have a mind aspect of bringing the necessary change. I say this because if you listen to Dr. Raquel, she talked to the legislature, their papers along the line, they executed some of the mistakes they have made over the years that I agree to partially. She spoke about every sector and she came to the international community, especially our long time, ally, the United States of America. And then she let dive into the nitty gritty of our thought.
Mhm.
She said to us, we are off we have of the insinuation that illusion, pardon,
Mhm.
that the United States is our friend.
Mhm.
Of course, it's a lie. That's what she said, and I tend to
Yeah,
agree.
even largely in Liberia, most people believe that
Yeah,
that America is our
and
friend.
I tend to
That kind of special
yeah,
relationship.
and I tend to agree with her
Mhm.
because if you dive into history,
Mhm.
the United States was the last among the committed of bigger nations to
Yeah, mhm.
recognize us. Great Britain was the first. And you know the history of the 1912 that led to the 1914 seizure of our treasury and the secretary, the Department of Surgery where Liberia were holding
Yeah,
the United States.
they're talking about the little bands
Yeah,
affair.
little bands affair where the
Mhm.
United States government, Liberian government were holding the United States 25,000 US, a value worth of 2 million plus now in our current day,
Mhm.
and then they had to send their soldiers and their accountants down here to take over our treasure, seize our treasure. Into the British government told us, in other words, that we can pay these guys our friend, the pay free of a cat. You can't have your friend, you can't have your friend, your ally, your traditional ally doing that to you. Great Britain, that was never a traditional ally, to just recognize the sovereignty of our nation, was able to pay free for us.
How do you view Liberia's relationship? Because most Liberians believe that Liberia has a very special and very unique relationship with America. Isn't that Liberians have been able to benefit equilibriumly from the kind of relationship they hold with America?
Not at all. Not at all. I want to draw your attention to current day alone.
Do you support that
Yeah, so
policy?
to 100%, I'm a pro-progressive pan-Africanist who believe in a free air movement
Mhm.
where Africans should be able to fund for themselves and do things. There's no need that bigger nations should suppress smaller nations on the basis of extracting their wealth and bringing chaos onto those smaller nations. What do I mean by that? If you look at current day Sierra Leone,
Mhm.
Sierra Leone is a friend of it's a British, is part of the British Commonwealth.
Mhm.
But because Sierra Leone in recent time, in line with Dr. Raquel advice,
Mhm.
had thwarted her mission a bit and gone to Russia. Russia is building some nuclear plant in Sierra Leone. They are doing some industrialization in Sierra Leone at the moment.
Isn't that
So if you find out that Russia, wait 1 minute, if you find out that because of Russia involvement into Sierra Leone right now,
Mhm.
the United States government have pumped millions of dollars into Sierra Leone to equal the attention of the Sierra Leonean. So if you compare that to what the astronomically little that they have done to us here, it means that they are now a friend. We should start looking for alternative in line with the hotel advice.
So we should reform the narrative of the Sierra Leoneans.
Sierra Leone and every other nation like Niger, Benin, Burkina Faso, and all of the sovereign nations around Africa that are trying, Rwanda, that are trying to do better.
All Nigerians are default with that narrative. They believe that America have been given their fair share of the resources, in terms of strengthening their bilateral relationship with Liberia. But our leaders is the problem. Our
No,
leaders are the problem.
I would lead up to be the problem. But I look at the dialectics of the ballot politics.
What are the dialectics?
Okay, if you follow the politics over the year, international from the international front, some of the monies that come into our country in terms of donor funding from the United States and other bigger nations, they come with serious threat on the part of our government. Now, sometimes they send the money back home. I mean, to bank and send express behind expatriates behind this money, and then there's a huge demand of return on the international front where the money had to go back to the salary and all of that.
Sometimes
And then
it will be based on the lack of technical gaps.
no, there are always been. I've had a chance to work with government. I know some of the experts that they send to this country. They are nothing. They depend on our resource document to make the difference. They come and behave like we got. They take some small student from North Carolina University and send them here for internship in the name of expert. So that is wrong. It happened since the days of the Peace Corps in our country. When they sent Peace Corps here in the name of teaching, and those people, they were not even qualified to teach anybody around there because of the level of illiteracy that existed. If you follow Egypt right now, Egypt, the U.S. government, U.S. government, they pump billions of that 13 billion plus into the Egyptian economy through aid in the name of having an intel on the Middle East. If you go to Egypt, the guys in Egypt, they don't like the United States government. If you go to Zimbabwe, just to have the ZANU-PF party and the throne from the hands of the upper class, they are now investing millions of dollars into Zimbabwe only because they don't want the party that was established around Robert Mugabe to exist. So you see, this is the workings of the United States government. You saw oil companies like the SMO Bill that existed at Acadia, Liberia, Board, Black 13, and other blocks, our oil blocks. When they went and did their own exploration, what did they tell us as people? They told us that our oil were not value. It never had a market value. And so they left. They left their scavenger today. They want to return to Liberia to be able to link our oil up in the name of. Then there's a phone call on the international front. There's a phone call that comes from the Uncle Sam telling our government that you need to make sure that the U.S. company is protected. Are you aware that the company, the Turkish company, that the tourist company that is currently in the Babalu or Cape Man that is mining gold and iron, I mean gold and diamond. Are you aware that that company, the biggest shareholder in that company is an American? So the Americans tend to protect their citizens rather than helping the nation. They are not doing well for us. They are killing us. You're aware of the 1990, the Queen Johnson involvement with the U.S. Embassy. You're aware of our local World War III here, where the Bismarck married the U.S. ambassador had to call the law forces for them to go back in the name of controlling and having control over them.
Considering your
Look at Charles Taylor. Just tell me how Charles Taylor left the penitentiary in the United States government to come and wage one of the largest insurgencies in our state.
considering your opinion, what are the steps that our government that you can recommend to national stakeholder in the process of reimagining Liberia in the words of Dr. Pele?
I think we need to be from the real front. I think we need to be very patriotic in our approach.
A reawakening?
Yeah, in reawakening. And one of the things we need to do is to I think the words of Dr. Raquel, Raquel, let's revisit our international strategy in terms of how we our policy and how we engage other nations to help.
How we engage other nations for help. Let's talk about the war.
I just want to before you go to the war economic, I just want to bring you to a standstill. You remember in this country, you and I maybe were not born, were somewhere around when Master Sergeant Samuel Kando took over the states. One of his first approach was to go to Nicholas Ceausescu in Russia. We went to Nicholas Ceausescu. We had that H. Borman family as the education minister at the time, and then they had to pay a visit to Russia. When they went to Russia, they brought to this country the first batch of Kalashika, AK, Moab, war thing, helicopters for our AFL. That is how the people in the East, the brothers in the East, that's how helpful they are to the rest of the other country. If you follow Niger right now, you see There's a whole lot of things happening in Nigeria. There are factories being built across the world. There are value and local content, value addition on the local products now in Nigeria, Mali, and other countries and things. 3 years from now, the country will be nothing compared to Liberia. Like, they'll be better off than they'll be on par with a lot of the countries in North Africa and part of East Africa. Like, for example, Ghana had introduced a cut down on aid policy where we have they are not taking money from international valley anymore, but they are investing more in their in local content and saying each district, each factory where the citizens can have jobs, opportunities, and do work, and forgetting about international support. And you see Russia is going into Ghana now, pumping money in the Ghanaian economy in terms of building roads and infrastructure across the country.
Well, what kind of relationship do you envisage for Liberia? What kind of bilateral relationship do you envisage for Liberia as a country?
A relationship that Liberia would benefit, there will be roadmaps, there will be signed to show that, for example, if the United States government is serious about supporting Liberia, that we should have infrastructure to point to, we should have things to point to, that this is what the United States government have done for us. We can be able to say clearly that the U.S. government is our friend.
The 177 Independence Day also cited the issues of the attention was also drawn to the issues about the war and economic crime, quote, an effort intended to end the culture of impunity in Liberia. And she also described the ongoing effort by President Joseph Waka as a 2 years effort, and owing to the fact that the lack of involvement of the civil society efforts. And she also made reference to the obvious involvement of the U.S. into that particular effort. What is your stand as a Liberian citizen?
You are aware that the U.S. is involved. Some time ago, when we were here, we spoke about the AREX, the House Resolution 1055, first time in the history of the U.S. Senate and the lower house for the resolution to be passed in just 15 minutes. It doesn't normally happen that way. So it speaks volume how the U.S. government is involved with the war and economic crime code. I think that's a means of reparation on the part of the U.S. government because they are wholly and solely involved with the very thing that started the crisis in our country, that led to some of the corruptions we are talking about, that led to that led to the war that killed hundreds of people in our country. So I think the U.S. government is a way of paying back. When you free a child stealer from a penitentiary in America and allow him to come to Liberia and wage insurgency on the states and kill innocent people, I think that they want to pay back. But just to satisfy the taste in terms of the questions you asked, the process so far is okay because it's long overdue. We saw the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. I mean, is that the Truth and Reconciliation Committee? Okay, the TRC committee, when they came out with their findings, there were a lot of recommendations on board. During the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we saw how it was swept under the rug, owing to the fact that she herself she was indicted in that particular document. Now that you can have, Joseph Boakai, President Joseph Boakai is a progressive. He's the only progressive in this country that has become president, come closer to the presidency and even win as president. To have a progressive president who will look back and say there's a need that we bring people to book, people who completed the heinous crime in this country, economic crime in the country. There's a need we establish a committee and fund all of the workings involved to make sure that we bring them to book and to be held accountable. I think that's a step forward. In line with that, the recommendation, it is true that civil society are not involved. It's just not still lit. We recommend it. Hopefully, we can all come to the table because the committee is being set at the moment. Councilor Masakwa was being appointed. It's a process, it's not an event. So that he's being appointed, he got a headquarter, he put a team together, he get all of the civil society involved, moving forward, and then you got to raise the necessary resources, and then you be able to reach out to the international community. Mind you, we don't have resources to do that. But there are processes involved in line with the United Nations funding that we can reach out to.
Other civil society organizations have raised concern over Councillor Masakwe's involvement, especially considering the role of the executive director position attached to the establishment of the World Economic Crime. What do you have to say to that?
I think we need to know what their problems are basically. we need to understand what are the basic issues that they are raising.
They, cl-
Are they
they
genuine?
claim that he doesn't have the kind of integrity for to serve in that particular position.
There's no proven record of his misbelief and his he's not being qualified to serve in that position. They need to spell out all of those verbs.
As part of their claim, they say he has been consistently cheating of somebody who has been involved into the war of our country.
And they need to prove that out. It has a lot of devouring the technical engagement of the entire issues. So let him be able to tell us he stole, he was another Prince Johnson in the crowd said, or he was a child stealer in the crowd said, or he was a small arm, he was an arm carrier at as a how they call it, small boy unit or so. So then we can be able to define and moving forward.
But what's your confidence with the position he currently occupies?
The young man is a lawyer. He have a proven record of work over the past. If you follow his workings, he worked with civil society organization. He worked with the law firm. He have hard working relationships with some of the people that have helped. Dr. Alan White, right? He have worked with Dr. Alan White on a memoir before. And then I think he's standing a chance where you can have friends, the Alan White, who have been involved with the issue of war chronicles in other countries. It serves as a roadmap for the movement forward to define how the process, will be handled in Liberia. And if you saw Alan White had to visit Liberia, he had to take that there with Councilor Masterboy. And I think it's a fair share of having to define how the process will be handled. So I didn't see where he has fallen short. If for any reasons he's being noted for not, for being a partaker of the crisis in our country, people can provide that. You saw during the TRC hearing when H for my family doing his hearing when the women wheelchair of the True We Party was a panel on the TRC council that the family questioned. He's questioned the existence of the lady. What he told her, he said, you are here asking me questions when you were part and parcel of the crisis that led to what happened in Liberia today. You are not qualified to interview me. We all are part of what happened in this country. But there should be someone standing at the front of the barricade to make sure that decisions are being made.
Oh, all right. So let's jump over to other issues. There are too many issues to talk about. A few days ago, former President George Weah addressed the nation in a very formal way. He invited the media, invited his partisans at the headquarters of the former ruling party. But basically, he said that he made some startling revelations to many people. But basically, what do you make of the former president's speech? Although he outlines several other issues that he spoke about. He spoke about the issues of witch hunting. He spoke about the ongoing effort by the government has been misguided and so forth. What do you make of former President George Weah's speech?
I saw a movement that was characterized by bluff and artificial drama to draw the attention of people of a coexistence. I think what responsibly I expected from the former President Weah for just in the act of asking every government official who served during his administration to succumb to the ongoing process. Because when he took over this country as president, what was expected most was to bring perpetrator of economic activities to book. What do I mean by that? I say this to mean that after the regime, you have had a group of people who have served 12 years in this country, serving as leader of the country. It was just fair enough to conduct an inclusive auditing that covers financial, personnel, and everything across the country to make sure you bring people who stole the country money to book. But then his first line of calling was that he graded the government 50%, meaning that they scored 100. 40% is cool.
He was impressed.
Yeah, you are impressed about their performance. You're right. So that was where there was a pitfall along the line. So moving forward, a lot of things. So coming in as President Blacker, who said it is fair enough that when you take over a company, a government, or a group of people, you need to know what was happening, during the making, while in your absence, so as to have a clear understanding of the movement forward. and then you come and say they are witch hunting you. I find it difficult to accept the word witch hunt, owing to the fact that there are reports across the country.
Mhm.
If you follow what led some of the government officials during the Georgia administration to resign, they voluntarily resign, but as a means of the international community engaging them strongly on the basis of their corrupt act, and then no records are on hand, owing to the current audit from the GSC and other institutions across the country like the IAA. The reports that are coming out, they are very bad. They are not saying that these guys took this money. They say go and account for your service in government. So moving forward, when we find out that these things are correct or not correct, whoever did it at the given time will be held accountable for what they did.
All right, this is one of the speeches that has drew the attention of so many Liberians in and out of the country. The Unity Party can be assured that the CDC will use all legal and political means at its disposal to resist this move to weaponize the country's judicial system to its selfish advantage. Yes, Mr. Waka, your actions to politicize justice will be resisted and resisted strongly. What do you make of this particular paragraph when he talks about using every means available, both judicial and political means?
So if you a political party
Mhm.
and want to use judiciary means, it's fair enough, it's right on your path
Mhm.
because the justice system gave you the right to do so. Equally,
Mhm.
it allows for the truth to be told.
Mhm.
But if you say political means is undefined, that is where I came from and say you created an artificial drama and a bluff. And if you talk about being weaponized,
Mhm.
let's look at the current judiciary system.
Mhm.
It was set up by President George Weah.
Mhm.
We saw when the former senator became a member of that bench. We saw the current Chief Justice, who is currently, who was also appointed by him, and a lot of influence have been placed there by him. Also, by what means is President Joseph Boakai weaponizing the judiciary system and think? And these are people who you are working with over the past. We should learn to trust our justice system. I think these are happening in the past and must continue to exist to give credit to from in case of the working.
All right. What do you make of the recent? What do you make of the recent suspension by the president that affected the CBL governors, citing predicating the decisions on an audit report? What do you make of that?
Uh,
Although other people have argued that the president does not have fair power to suspend the CBL governor.
if you follow the report coming in from the CBL,
Mhm.
it's terrible bad. I'm thinking whether you have had the chance to visit the report. The report is bad, and one thing is,
Mhm.
I I do support the current regime,
Mhm.
owing to the fact that we needed change, and then along the line, there are some fundamental flaws that is in the corridor, and we need to correct that
Mhm.
moving forward. If you watch the cycle of the president,
Mhm.
mm, there are some interplay variables that are interplaying and
Mhm.
need to be corrected at the moment.
Mhm.
In the office of the president, the Ministry of State, they have assistant minister for research and technical service.
Mhm.
One Joe Marshall is serving that position. I think little is being done to be able to have an understanding of this issue of turning positions and how things work in terms of dismissal. Who's supposed to hold? Who's setting tenure or you name it. But then, in line with the president's own prerogative theory,
Mhm.
he chooses who to work with or not to. And then I think at the moment, owing to the fact that this has happened and this report coming in, he's saying, I want to suspend this guy
Mhm.
to have a fair understanding of the social dynamics, what is happening in there, and then moving forward, we can have a way through. So, for my own stand, if the law says this guy cannot be removed because he served a tenure position and there are processes involved, I think the other presidents should be informed
Do
that
you
this.
do you believe that the government is going to win that particular case? Owing to the fact that the government initially embarked on a legal pursuit with him and they were defeated. Are you of the conviction that the government will get the in that case?
I'm certainly not a lawyer,
Mhm.
and I don't have the legal merit in that case. But I think we should look forward for the results and see what the outcome would be like. If I happen to speak anything on the contrary or in favor or against, I think I would be wrong legally to fight. But my honest opinion is the president needed comfort to make sure that people that work with are in line with the dream.
All right, let's go. Let's go over to the yellow machine. The most talked about issue in the country, the yellow machine. What is your position on the yellow machine? Considering from the genesis to where we are, what is your stand on this yellow machine saga?
Yeah, how are you and your other studio guests trying to talk about yellow machine? If you're only the king. I think the yellow machine interests you most, or you just want
No,
the
no,
other.
no, 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 no. Because as a whole, there are a lot of people who probably give their own opinion.
Lana, just 2 years ago or 6 months ago,
Uh,
if you were to travel
mhm,
to the hinterland,
mhm,
some of the deepest part of our country,
mhm,
it takes you 13, 14 hours.
mhm.
And some of the people from the southeast, their means of travel were through the Arico, the local tour border,
Mhm.
or the Totan border to San Pedro, Tabu, Poro, and then back to Liberia. Imagine traveling to your own country and going to some own country, especially the francophone country that people don't know how to speak French, and navigating 13 hours in foreign land, paying use to foreign security to make sure you come back to your country. That was terrible. And so moving forward, we got to define where we want to take our country.
Mhm.
And as part of it is to make sure that we have a road network. You know the economic benefit of road.
Mhm.
And the yellow machine is not going to be kept in President Walker's bedroom or in the back of his yard. The yellow machine, there were distributions process that were put in play. They will be shared across the country. We spoke about it a year before. The yellow machine will be taken to the county, will be used, it will provide job opportunity, it will fix our road, it will better up the life of our people because it will bring the produce to town. It will be able to sell. The pregnant woman lying somewhere who's supposed to take the 13 hours to come to a referral hospital will be taking less than 3, 4, 5 hours to get closer. That provides a level of safety and economic benefit. So yellow meeting is important. We need more of the yellow machine. Whatever the processes are, we need to work on some of the strategies in getting the yellow machine to where we want to get it.
Well, how do you view the government's efforts in acquiring those yellow machines?
As far as I know, I've not understand how the yellow machine is being procured. But
Mhm.
whatever the case is, I think the government need to effort all effort in making sure that they follow all the rightful procedure in terms of procurement,
Mhm.
in terms of contract management and maintenance and everything that result. I mean that is involved around making sure that we have sufficient yellow machine in our country to make sure that our rules, our infrastructures are being put in place, rules infrastructure are being worked on and put in place.
Our infrastructures have been well put in place. So let's go over to other. That goes over to other issues. There are a lot of issues here to talk about. There are a lot of issues here. I mean, let me get. I want to be on path. There has been this news about uh, 8 million to the SRB and so forth. So many analysis here and there. But generally, what do you have to say in response to uh, the news about this 8 billion to SRB, and another report come out that SRB is capacitated enough to provide services to the customer. Generally, what do you have to say to this whole issue here?
So, Lana,
Mhm,
the tenure of democracy principle
mhm,
in line with political economics, it speaks values of the government action through the central bank. If you have a bank in a country, there are interesting cases, right? If you have a government in a country that are, I mean, you have a bank, a commercial bank
mhm,
that is potentially losing balance in terms of liquidation.
mhm,
There is a need for something to be done. Political economics speaks to that because
mhm,
what happens if you do not have the bank? mm, there will be potential loss of job. mm,
mhm,
Business services will go out of standstill. What do I mean by that? We have more than 70 companies, multilateral companies that are doing business with the bank, pardon. The bank gave LC, letter of credit, they gave loan to those companies. There are payrolls that are there, right?
Mhm.
So if the bank is broke or if it collapses, the company lost their effort to people to retain their money with the bank or so. So people are losing a job. Who are those people? They are the very Liberians that are supposed to be putting food on their table.
Mhm.
The bank had 160 employees. Those employees are going to stay home. Why are they doing? They are adding on to the people who are unemployed, right? So the bank leave the country. That's provide a bad signals to the international community in terms of trade and investment. Nobody want to come to Liberia to invest their money again because it creates a bad image. So you see, so it's important. It was important that the government provide the loan, I mean the money to the bank to be able to boost all the economic
Under what,
activity that is happening.
under what circumstances?
We should be
Those are the key issues that Liberians are mostly concerned about.
so. I just listed. You asked me about circumstances, but I just listed that
Mhm.
Liberians went there, they will be losing their job,
Mhm.
and then politically for the government that I tend to support,
Mhm.
the government will tend to lose credit
Mhm.
on the national front. You will see, like let's take this for example, in 2008 in Iceland
Mhm.
during the global financial crisis. The Iceland, there were banks that were losing off on the front, on the off front. Liquidations were taking place, banks were closing down. What happened?
Mhm.
The people of Iceland they got in the street and started demonstrating. And because of the demonstration, the government was overthrown. The government had to leave power. He resigned. The president of Iceland resigned. So we don't want similar thing to be happening in our country anytime soon. So we said we will protect our businesses across the country.
Mhm.
We hold into our reserve and protect our businesses across the country. It was a decision that was long taken by President George Okonguia. They needed to have a foregone conclusion. The bank did not take a single day to run out of money. It started more than 2 years ago when creditors across the country who were doing business with the bank refused to pay back loan on ground that the business were not doing good. Our economy was very bad. They were not receiving the goods from overseas or some other big creditors credited from them, so they were not able to meet up with the terms and conditions in terms of their loan arrangement. So the bank had to lose on that money, and then to find other options. Let's not forget the bank has 70 multi corporations that are doing businesses with them.
Oh,
So
oh,
in their envelopes, they got to create a means to be able to maintain as a bank. So the government is only uplifting, but the politics need to go away because the truth is,
mhm.
if I am a creditor and I borrow money from the bank, it does not in any way, if the government decides to get 8 million, it does not in any way relinquish me from my debt.
Mhm.
Eh? I still owe it to the bank. There are other clauses that allow me
In
to
order to
pay
pay, yeah.
to pay
Mhm.
at a later date. So I don't know where the politics is coming from. I think in terms of political economics
Mhm.
and the tenures that protect that dynamics is in a good faith. And I want to thank the central bank for rescuing uh, the bank because in that way, we are talking about extracting investment now into our country. When people hear that banks are pulling out of Liberia because the business community is crediting money and they are not paying back, and then the government cannot do anything to protect the bank, it becomes a problem.
Few months back, candidate Joseph Boakai, the political leader of the opposition unity party, now president of the country, uh, in most of his campaign initiative, of he spoke about the issues of rescuing Liberia, no business as usual. Uh, then when he took office, before they even took office, they adopted this particular document, they developed this particular document called Arrest, which means agriculture, the rule of law, the sanitation, and tourism. Generally, as a Liberian, what is your own reading? What is your own assessment about the current realities we are seeing? Is it better off or is it progressing or are they making so many paths?
So Lana, the Joseph Walker administration do not have 6 year anymore.
Mhm.
We have already gone 7 months in the administration.
Mhm.
It took a little time to design a national strategy, which is the AID EREX. And then that document clearly speaks. in terms of agriculture, it speaks about local content and adding value addition to our own, products and materials in country. But then, in terms of the question, uh, it is left for the government to allocate resources in every line item, every pillar along the policy to define the movement forward of that particular policy. If you ask me what are things that are moving forward, I think there are sectors across the country that are working to make sure that the government function well. The finance ministry, the LRA, they are playing a part. The CSA that we spoke about earlier. There are other sectors like the Ministry of Lands and Mine. They are trying to review their policies to make sure, mind you, back in the days, 6 years ago, current Senator McGill, then Chief Minister of States, took some of the functions of Lands and Mine Ministry and carried to the executive mansion. He was not issuing licenses to mining companies that created a whole lot of illicit money across the country. Now the Ministry of Lands and Mine Energy, they want that power back to be able to have a review of the cadastral to make sure that the Ministry of Mines and Energy can be able to function well, close down some of the illicit miners, punish them, and it just go across one sector to another. So it takes men and women
Yeah,
in the search.
speaking about the issues about the banks and money issue, a few days ago there was this media report that a popular illicit miner, Gao Feng, was arrested. How do you classify that effort from the government, especially from the Ministry of Lands and Mines?
I think the Lens amount scored 100% because it was as a result of the election that was issued in the past to him. So he rallied on Liberian because there are classes of lesson A, lesson B, and one of them have to. I mean, it's for locals.
Can Liberia rely on this government for justice?
100%, 100%. Because if you can arrest an enlisted miner on ground that he's mining illicitly, it become a plus for the government. So there's a whole review of the cadastre. Now the cadastre is the information management system that has been put in place, secure to make sure that it monitors all of the mining activity across the country. So that similarly will be done to the National Bureau of Concessions around the country to make sure that the government work in line with what is best to make sure that the government functions well. So it's not a one-day thing. It's a gradual process of reform that they are still resistant to reform by people in the system. Mind you, we live in a country where nearly most of the civil servants, some of them went there by means of political arrangement. And so some have still trying to be element to the system, not opening all information, making sure that the government function well. You saw the issue of the Ministry of Education where somebody was suspended, was expelled on grounds that he had to leak information from the sunshine room. So the neutrality still remain an issue that we need to address holistically.
All right, let's go to the phone line 0770 005746 is the number to call, and we will definitely be live on the radio. So we are on both the radio and on the television. 0770 005746 is the number to call. So you were making a salient point. Sorry for the interruption. But we are also being cognizant of the time. So let's go. Go ahead.
I would say you saw the issue of the Ministry of Education. Someone was just expelled from the government because they were giving us information that is not meant for public consumption, but actually for the workings of the institution, and then they send it out. So we still have most of those people who, in other words, return as or people who would not who are there to not deal the government positively.
Hello, caller. Where your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, make your point, Chief. Why do you consider it as the best agenda? But others are still complaining about road conditions. Where are you from? Where are you from? All right. Okay. Thank you for calling. 1 minute per caller. Yeah. So the number to call is 0700005746. It's the number to call, and you will definitely be live on the radio as well as the television. So 077000
So,
five
so,
seven four
so,
six.
so we were talking about
Mhm.
the issue of the aid medium. I
Mhm.
just want to make this clear in terms of the economic.
Mhm.
In 2008, there was a global financial crisis across the world. Are you aware that the U.S. provided substantial bail up to private banks in the United States to avoid this collapse? It's not very strange. And also, we also have the implement. It was called the Trouble Access Relief Program in the United States of America. During the COVID-19, the European Central Bank, the ECU, they also ensured liquidation and support continual lending to these commercial banks. And then the banks in Europe were able to gain their status during, and to be able to take their loans and deposit of money. We have the Indian recapitalization of public and private sector banking policy that has been put in place during COVID-19, where the Indian government injected capital in private banks to strengthen their balance sheet and their stability. So it's not strange. We as Liberians, we should not politicize everything that is meant to help our country move forward. We should have a clever honor. I don't think President Joseph Waka.
I think where the points are, while Nigerians are raising concerns about that, is that one of the plans that the government, that bank, SIB, will definitely do the repayment to the government. You understand? What have I think they are mostly particular about the negotiation phase and all other things, considering the fact that the government has been probably silenced on that particular issue.
If you follow the press secretary of Facebook page and her release in recent times, she said the government going to speak to that. So I look forward to see what the government had to say to us. But I trust the economic advisor of the president. There are two, the young, the junior, and the senior. Those are people who have been around the environment for a very long time. They understand political economic issues in line with training issues that support government functions in helping our citizens to grow. I think commercial banks that operate in Liberia should be protected under the laws by all means to make sure that we can attract more investment. We're talking about providing job opportunity. When these companies come to do business with us, they provide job opportunity for our citizens. They provide loans and other facilities for people to be able to move, make livelihood.
Yeah, one last question before we go to the phone line, then we'll come back and take comment. Is the issues about the issues about drug free in our country, as part of the main reason why Liberians walked to to vote for President Joseph Boakai was the issues about his commitment to crack down on drug peddlers and those who were involved holistically in the process of transporting drug into our country. Initially, we listened to the likes of Abraham Coman when he was actively involved with the LDA, and then he got suspended. He and his deputy, Hassan Fadiga. What is the fight? What is the stance that the government is making relative to the fight against drug?
One thing have changed, may know, the president just declared drugs as an emergency, national emergency, and so it must be addressed at that level. And nothing have changed after the saga at the LDA. The president immediately suspended the three folks, sorry, that were involved, right? So they are going home now. They're sitting there, but there's a CRC, there's a commander. Someone that is
The
OIC, sorry, there's an OIC. So the OIC there, if you listen to the OIC, there are international partners that they are dealing with right now. They are not only going after the orders of drugs, but then they create a picture where they have to rehabilitate people moving forward. So if you listen to the recent program, they are talking about training local adults be able to track down drugs across the country and thing. They would train the dogs and make sure that the dogs would see the sound of favorite bowler points and thing. He tried to make sure he tried. There were some louses
What do
there
you
at the moment in terms
what,
of employment and people being incapacitated
mm,
to do certain job and the payroll. When we spoke about drugs the last time here, we talked about if you want to have people fighting drugs, they should be adequately paid so as to have their attention being tuned to the kind of work that they want to do, rather than paying somebody $100 and you say you should go after people who are more like importing drugs in the country. You know what I mean?
lastly, what do you have to say to Nigerians who believe that the suspension of Hassan Fadiga and Abraham Traoré has slowed down the pace of the government stance on battling drugs?
No, he had never. Just in 1 month, last month, there was 7 arrests in various from across the country
Mm-hmm.
about drug users. I mean, they were capturing major drugs and things. So if you follow the report coming in from the LDA, you will know that even it is a significant increase in terms of how the DA is working across the country. So everybody thought it was AB Kuma who could actually do the work. But I have had problem with people, that I wanted us to talk, but I think we don't have
Yeah,
time
we don't
anymore.
have
Yeah,
time. We
yeah.
just
So far, I said the DA is working, and we pray that they do more because the just it's epidemic. Is one of the issues that have killed the fabric of our states. Our young brothers are dying by the day. Check the internet. There's a new variant of the drugs that is sold on the people food and eating it.
I don't know what they call it,
That,
zombie
yeah,
or
that is
I don't
totally nasty. It's so cute. So you see, there are a lot of will be lost in men over the days. Some of us who teach at the various university, we find more females in the classroom than male. Our brothers are turning into drugs addict across the country. We got to do something immediately to stop that.
Okay, the number to call is 07700. We have with us Harrison Kenu, a lecturer and educator, and he is here with us. He has been giving his thoughts on many of the issues we have been discussing, both national issues, local issues, and other important issues related to our country, Liberia. So the number to call is 0770 005746. 0770 005746. The number to call, and you would definitely be live. So let's go ahead and yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
So like I was saying, other people that he has AD, Predica, nothing could have been done, but the new guy is doing significantly well. If you tend to perpetuate a closed system where opportunities for new talents are stored, you'll definitely be stored. So the guy, if you follow the programs there now, they are partnering with international organizations to make sure that the issue of drug become pertinent
Mhm.
in terms of how they go after the importers of drugs. But it's a syndicate across the country. There are people, I'm not highly important, there are people in government, in past government, this government that are involved with the use and sales of drugs. So we got to track down those people to end this that man for good.
All right. So we don't really have much time in our video. Let's just take the party comment and call it a day.
So our government is 7 months.
Mhm.
And within the 7 months, there have been a lot of reforms across the country. And the government is doing more to make sure that they protect their policy and policy become the rule of law and good governance become the order of the day. If you listen to Mr. President, he has said there's no business as usual. So some of the people who think that they have come to government to do business as usual, they are only lying because at the end of the day they will be caught. And then we want to assure our Liberian people that we will make sure that we deliver to the audience. We revisit our international policy and make sure we get the right people and to do the work of our country and look forward to having more of the conversation on Foca FM. Something I want to put up quick. 6 years ago, Foca FM are going to the Georgia administration and to ask them for the existence of this station. They refused to give frequency to Foca FM. They have been operating as online TV, but now through the Joseph Walker administration, we have young people expressing their talent across the country. And so this is how Joseph Walker is open to working with Liberians in the country and providing job opportunities. He may not have bought the equipment in here, but the mere fact that he gave frequency to the government administration, gave frequency Young kids will come here to express their talent. Young brothers are here making sure that information are air on a daily basis. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for the ambience and the work that you guys have been doing. Yeah, I'm very proud of you. I'm one person who can talk about you people on the outside every day.
Right. Thank you so much. So that's Harrison Cameron. You have him. So, folks, that is where we are. It has been a very beautiful conversation here on Foca FM, Foca TV. It has just been always amazing. My name is K. Lyndon Chopai, and tomorrow we will definitely be back here with another edition, but not the same show. But tomorrow we'll definitely be back here tomorrow. Thank you very much.